Welcome to onSodi.com.
Our Photoshop course provides you with the best starting point for learning Photoshop and improving your photography. Our courses here at onSodi.com will provide you with the valuable direction required to learn how to apply and use Photoshop. Photoshop comes with two very important plug-in software packages: Adobe Camera Raw for processing raw files, and Adobe Bridge for managing and organizing your photos. We use all three in combination. Adobe Camera Raw and Adobe Bridge come as part of the package of Photoshop. We're using the CC Creative Cloud version of Photoshop. It's okay if you have an older version of Photoshop, but Adobe Camera Raw was significantly updated at Photoshop CS6. Our course starts with an introduction to importing your photos, and then managing and sorting through your images in Adobe Bridge. Adobe Bridge connects seamlessly to both Photoshop and Adobe Camera Raw. We often refer to Adobe Camera Raw as simply ACR. And Adobe Camera Raw connects to Photoshop and Bridge too. As Photoshop likes to start with the best possible quality and data in a photograph, then it's vitally important to process your files from your camera in the Adobe Camera Raw workspace, and then open those images into Photoshop. Therefore, many of the early courses here concentrate on raw processing. Adobe Camera Raw is the first stage of any image retouching. Raw files contain so much information and image detail that can only be realized in raw processing software, and it's crazy to open your images straight into the Photoshop workspace without unleashing and realizing the full quality in Camera Raw first. It's also very important to shoot in RAW format with your camera, but if you only have JPEG images, that's okay, because Camera Raw works on JPEG images too, but in no time, you will select the RAW capturing format on your camera, as it doesn't take long to realize that RAW format photos are much better. In fact, Adobe Camera Raw is so powerful and so very easy to use that unless you're wanting to do some drastic image alterations, such as replacing the sky in an image for example, that you may find yourself using Camera Raw for the majority of your image optimizing. Photoshop is the master of image editing, but Camera Raw is the master of image optimizing. Adobe has some fantastic offers to purchase Photoshop that includes Adobe Camera Raw and Adobe Bridge. When you undertake this course, it's important for you to have some raw format files of your own to practice these techniques on. If you don't have any, set some time to take some pictures. Set your camera to capture in the raw format, if it allows you to. It would benefit you to watch the video course on image optimizing before you shoot some new photographs. At the time of taking your photos, in the raw format if possible, it's important for you to check the histogram on your camera. With good exposure and a healthy histogram, you are starting off in the best possible way. Let's start learning.